Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description. Hey friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw. It's a SummerSlam spectacular episode, Larson. We just get back from SummerSlam. I'm exhausted. We have a plane ride in about 8 hours that we have to get on. But we're here anyways, because this is what we do.
Our plane ride's less than 8 hours away, isn't it?
No, it starts at 10.
Oh, that's right. We have to get up in less than 8 hours.
Less than, yeah, no, yeah. Our whole journey begins in less than.
That's what I was referring to. Anyways, yeah, we were at SummerSlam. Thank you again to 2K Games, the fine folks over at WWE 2K17 for inviting us out here to New York to experience SummerSlam weekend for the first time in all its glory. We had a great time.
We had a really, really, really good time. SummerSlam was a really off, weird card, but we went to NXT and that was an absolute blast. We've got that up on our channel as well, our recap for that. But let's talk SummerSlam.
Okay.
This was a really weird card.
Yeah, it was.
On paper, going into it, it had all the potential in the world, and some of that potential, in really odd places,
Was fulfilled.
in some obvious places and in some odd places. For example, AJ versus John Cena. Didn't see that one as being the match. I figured it'd be a good match, but you never know when John's going to phone it in and when he's not. You never know. You never know you're going to get with John Cena anymore.
Yeah.
And the fact that that was the match of the night, possibly a match of the year candidate.
Oh, definitely a match of the year candidate.
It says a lot. Like, you could tell that he's got a lot of respect for AJ. He wanted to really do a good job putting him over, and he did a phenomenal job, so to speak. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Fantastic.
Match of the 90s and the false finishes at the end. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yes.
Because I mean, and granted, I don't know how much internally WWE might play off this conception that John Cena doesn't put people over.
Right.
Because towards the end of the match, there was a spot where Cena does the AA from the top rope.
Super AA.
And usually, okay, that's it.
Yeah, right.
Cena wins.
Yeah.
But AJ kicked out, and there was this great moment where AJ kind of claws his way to the corner to pick himself up, and the whole time the camera's on Cena because we looked at the scoreboard screen, and Cena's like, "Oh my God, he's getting up from that? What do I have to do to put this guy away?" Yeah,
and then you see AJ, like you said, just sort of crawling over there. It was a really, really great moment of just intrigue and drama and tension, and Cena sold it like $1 million. He did a really, really good job doing that. And then AJ ended up, he went for another A, AJ reversed it, and then went to the phenomenal forearm, and got the 1-2-3 clean victory over John Cena.
Crowd went bananas, we went bananas.
Crowd went insane. They went insane. And then at the end they gave, it's so funny, dude, when Cena does this, the crowd cheers the shit out of him at the end because they're saying, thank you, Cena, for doing the job.
Well, they're showing him respect.
No, I know, but there's a difference between, it's so funny. There's such a difference between showing the guy respect for a good match, which I know they were doing.
Yeah.
But also, thank you for, because it's like, it's Cena. Cena can dictate who he's going to get over and who he's not going to put over. So it's like, Cena, thank you for doing the job.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of like,
well,
that's what I salute him. I'm like, hey, thanks for doing it for him.
But also what preceded that moment was, first of all, after the match ended, Styles went full, the large portion of this match. Well, first, the crowd was divided as usual, as they often are Cena matches.
Sure.
But it seemed to be strongly Styles crowd.
Super strong AJ. When he came out, he got a huge pop. Yeah. And Cena, I know it's a Pavlovian thing these days, but Cena got boos. He got a lot of boos.
Well, I mean, it's fun to sing John Cena Sucks with his theme song. It just is.
Yeah, I know, but there's a difference between that and his music hits. Boo!
Oh, I know.
It's kind of in the same line as that, I guess.
But anyways, especially the spot where AJ kicks out of the Super AA and crawls to the corner to pick himself up. That's kind of a face move.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But after the match, Styles went full heel mode, got in John's face and did that.
Yeah.
And then he left the ring, and Cena, got himself up, had a moment, took his Never Give Up armband off, looked at it, kissed it, and left it in the middle of the ring, and walked out. And it was.
What does that mean? For
the insinuation was that he's going to leave for a bit.
He's like, I've got a movie to shoot.
Something's up.
So I'll be back by, but him, he'll be back.
So I think that ovation was partial respect, good work, partial thank you for putting Styles over.
Yeah, because now, I mean, if he's leaving for a little while now, it puts Styles over. It's so funny, though. The funny thing about that is that, like, you contrast with that. Remember when we knew he was leaving, and Del Rio came in and took his U.S. title and won cleanly with like a kick to the head or something?
Yeah, in a not very good match.
In a not very good match. And in that case, nobody really cheered him for putting. But people love AJ. People love him so fucking much, and he's such a great worker.
He's great in the ring.
He's great. He's phenomenal. But to open the show, I mean, that was the match of the night. That was the big time match.
Probably the second best match of the night was the first match on the main card. We weren't really getting the pre-show because we didn't see it all yet. Was Jericho.
Well, that was one of the more entertaining. I think the second match of the night was Finn versus Seth.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, third best match of the night.
Yeah.
Jericho versus Enzo and Cass.
This is really, I mean, you cannot not like any of these guys.
Yeah.
This was like, no matter, like, we both thought for sure this was Enzo and Cass.
And especially when they came out first.
They came out first, delivered a great New York-centric promo. As they do. Cass was especially fired up. He was especially fired up, and he was really into it. But they dropped a great promo. Jericho's music hits. He comes out. Kevin Owens comes out, and it's so entertaining. Like, to watch the dynamic between Jericho and Kevin Owens is just so great. Like, what was he doing? Like, okay, so they went over. It was a fun match.
Yeah.
They went over. They gave Enzo a bit more to do in this one.
Yeah. Usually he just gets beat up the whole time, but he actually got some decent offense and start the match off.
Right, exactly. So at the end, Jericho ends up getting the pin, right? Who got the pin?
Jericho hit the code breaker on Enzo.
Okay. I seem to remember Owens trying to, like, sort of distracting Cass.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Jericho got the pin.
But anyways, so Kevin Owens and Jericho are going up the ramp, and Jericho's trying to be very buddy-buddy with Owens, who just gets kind of annoyed with him.
Well, no. Before that, Owens says, as they're going up the ramp to Jericho, "I love you, Chris." And then Chris is talking loudly, and Owens is like, yeah. And then when Jericho stops, he does his ear like Jericho was talking to loudly.
It's so great.
But earlier in the ring, before Owens did a move, he blew a kiss to Jericho.
Yeah.
And then he was doing Enzo's dance and stuff on the apron. It was good. It
was highly entertaining.
Yeah, it was a fun match. And then the second match was good in most spots. There was a couple spots that seemed a little iffy.
If it wasn't for, like, just the botches that made us feel like, oh my God, these girls need to just stop because they're going to hurt each other bad. If it wasn't for that, this would have been a really epic match. This would have been, like, really out of sight. But Charlotte Sasha just had some moments where it was like, oh God, they're going to hurt each other. Like, that's not good. Like, there were two distinct botches. That there was one where Charlotte was trying to put Sasha, like, in a corner or something. She was like, it was the main one, the first one.
Oh, the sidewalk slam one, off the corner. That was the first.
It was a slide off the corner turnbuckle, right?
Yeah. But I think the botch that followed that was because I think Sasha maybe from that botch kind of got her bell rung a little or something.
It definitely felt like
because Charlotte. Oh no, the botch was when Charlotte tried to put her in that submission hold.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That was and Sasha fell out.
And she fell out, and it was just, I don't know, it was really weird. The whole thing was really weird. Sasha ended up losing. Charlotte won the title back, which was bizarre. But then we found out that the WWE took Sasha's name.
Reportedly.
Yeah.
It's not, they didn't say anything officially, did they? WWE didn't say anything.
She was removed from the listings.
I know, but WWE didn't issue a statement saying as such. It was just some other wrestling news outlets reporting that.
Yeah.
Which one was it? NoDQ.com or something like that?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So they were reporting that, and she's been removed from those listings for the next 33 days, which then, of course, gets you speculating: is this a suspension that's coming up? Because then there was rumors. I think Wrestling Observer was saying that there's rumors that there's going to be some more suspensions that are announced coming up.
Yeah.
But then there was, I think WrestleZone, somebody out there was saying this might be because she's got some nagging injuries that she needs to take care of, which might be why she was selling this stuff so much, or it could be that it was actually legitimate. Like
she did a great. If she's not hurt, if she didn't injure her back in this match, she did a fantastic job of selling that back injury. Really good. Because I was pretty convinced that she messed up her back.
I know. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, I have no idea. Like, I tend to think that so many of the things that they did later on in the match would preclude her from having a back injury that's so bad that she wouldn't be able to do those things. That's my only thing, is that she was able to complete the match in a way that it didn't look like they were protecting her back, which I think they would have been doing if she actually hurt it. They would have had to have altered the match a little bit to protect it. I don't think they really did that. But what do I know? I mean, it's entirely possible that she legit injured her back. It looked like it would have been more of a neck injury during that first botch. But then she's done that shit before where she lands on her head.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also been rumors throughout the past couple months that, Vince, she thinks that she's reckless. Injury prone. And I really just hope that's not the case. I mean, we got the chance to interview her, and she is charming in person and amazing, and we really want her to be the champion. We want her to be working and entertaining us, but we want her to be healthy first and foremost.
Yes.
So whatever the situation is, we hope it's for the best for Sasha.
Yeah, absolutely. Next on the card was The Miz versus Apollo Crews.
This match had like zero buildup.
I know.
I mean, here's the thing, dude. They made a joke out of the fact that Daniel Bryan accidentally said Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
And then they ran with that joke without any real comeuppance from Apollo Crews.
He got one powerbomb on The Miz during a segment of Miz TV that aired during a commercial break of SmackDown that they showed briefly after that commercial break.
Oh, damn.
I believe after Apollo Crews was named number one contender, that was the only interaction that he and The Miz had.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where to start with this one.
I know.
It's like, if this was going to be the case, why make him the number one contender? Why not make... Look, you got to admit, Baron Corbin has been showing more fire than Apollo Crews.
He's been getting more TV time.
He's been getting more TV time, and all he's been doing is he's been bullying Kalisto. It's like, it's bizarre. This is the Intercontinental Championship. Miz has been making this thing look like $1 million, by the way.
Yeah.
And Maurice makes it look even better.
Yeah.
And Apollo Crews hasn't been given anything to work with, to chew on. The funny thing is, dude, it's not even a kind of situation where we can say, well, he needs to step up his game. They haven't given him any opportunities.
Yeah. Nothing.
Like, you can't do anything if you're not on TV. Mm-hmm. You can't make a case for yourself.
You can't do anything if they don't say, okay, this is what your character is. I mean, the match between them tonight was decent. It
wasn't a bad match.
It was good.
I mean, Apollo Crews obviously is a great worker. Miz is a solid worker.
Yeah, it was a good match. There was just no story behind it.
There's no story behind it. And the way they've been treating Miz has been like, this guy, which is good for the belt. Mm-hmm. Miz owns this title. He's not giving it up, and everybody's beneath him. It's just, when you have an opponent for SummerSlam, you need to make him a credible threat.
Yes.
Apollo Crews hasn't been. So, I mean, this match had there was zero. I mean,
there really wasn't any drama to it.
There was no drama whatsoever,
which is a bummer.
Yeah.
Then after that was AJ versus Cena. We talked about that.
Then we had the Club versus the New Day. We're talking about the Club for a second. Finn Balor pulled a.
Oh yeah.
And Larson no selling them on a 2-suite.
Yeah, he knows the deal. Now I'm a fan of Finn Balor because he knows.
You have to be now because we're in the same boat.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We share a philosophy: no 2-suiting.
So the Club had an opportunity.
Well, hold on. Let's talk beforehand. Earlier in the night, John Cena. Mm-hmm. Sorry, not John Cena. John Stewart.
Yeah.
There was a segment backstage with
Foley
and Daniel Bryan and Shane and
Stephanie
and John Stewart comes up, starts bad mouthing Stephanie.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Stephanie right behind me, isn't she?"
He's got his comedic timing is
fantastic.
so fucking on point. It's great.
But at the conclusion of that segment, the New Day come in and say, "Hey, John, we want to talk to you."
Right. Yeah. And so they sully off with him.
Yeah. And so at the beginning of the Club New Day match, Stewart comes out, drops a promo, says, "Okay, I'm going to redeem myself from what I did last year, hitting John Cena with a chair, costing him the U.S. title by
joining the New Day.
Joining the New Day.
He took off his hoodie and he had a New Day shirt underneath. He's the only like guest guy that I can really even accept anymore. He is so fucking funny and he gets so into it, and it's like he knows the world perfectly.
Yes.
And so he accompanied Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston to the ring because Big E is obviously injured because he's got a ring postitis. And the doctors in the club came down to the ring.
Doc Gallows, of course.
Doc Gallows. Yeah, they had a little tiny jar for John.
Yeah.
And John sold it perfectly.
He said,
"That's fair. That's
fair.
enough." Yeah.
That's fair.
So anyways, it was it wasn't a great match, and it ended with the return of Big E. He came down because they were about to Doc Gallows and Doc Anderson were about to throw down with Jon Stewart. They were about to take him down.
They were about to give him ring postitis.
Yeah. And Big E made the save, started beating on him outside the ring,
which caused a DQ.
Ref called the bell,
which I was kind of confused by because I didn't. It's
Freebird rule. He should be allowed to do that.
I agree, and it's not always the situation where outside interference outside the ring causes a DQ. But again, the rules of professional wrestling, fluid.
Yeah, fluid, exactly.
Fluid.
Yeah, DQ. I mean, when the titles are on the line, DQ is just dusty finishes.
I agree. There's 3 matches, 2 of them title matches, where the end was a little weird.
Yeah, this one and Rusev Reigns.
And then the main event, the end was a little weird with that one too.
Yeah.
Next, Dean Ambrose, your WWE World Champion against the challenger Dolph Ziggler.
It's kind of interesting to see Dean work heel in this.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit. He was doing some heel stuff. He was posing. He was imitating Dolph's dance.
Oh, I like when he started revving up the music, revving up the band.
Oh yeah, he was gonna do sweet chin music. But
that's
instead,
right. Yeah. Gave him a double arm DDT.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't into this match. I thought that it's weird, man. Like Dean had a really good match with Triple H that one time.
Well, I've been saying for a while that he's had plenty of good matches, but apart from the one with Triple H, he's never had a really great match.
Do you think was this like a bad mix of styles?
No, I think they're. Because you thought it was slow and plodding, and I don't necessarily think that was the case because the pace was actually pretty brisk. I just don't think neither of them are high-impact wrestlers. Although they've been booking Dirty Deeds as the most devastating finisher in the entire company.
It had an abrupt ending. There was no build. And it had like just an abrupt ending. There was no sequence of events that like led me to be like, oh, this
well, there was
how
one
many ways
instance.
can this go?
There was one instance where Dolph landed a huge super kick on the outside, and that was at the only point where it seemed like Dolph might gain the upper hand.
Yeah, I mean,
but that was about halfway through the match.
I know. At no time did Dean ever look concerned. I didn't feel at any time there was any chance Dolph was going to win this thing, and I thought it's funny too because like somebody in our little suite was saying. The build to this match has been terrible. I actually thought that given the short amount of time they've had, I thought the build has been pretty decent.
But I think most of the credit to the quality of the build goes to Dolph. He's doing some of the best mic work he's done in years.
He's been doing fantastic work, and I thought like he's as legitimate as he possibly could be. He has maxed out his potential in terms of being a legitimate threat to Dolph. And who didn't we see all night?
Don't get me started on Bray Wyatt. He should have done something. Why do they waste him so much? That guy has money.
I don't know. He ain't suspended.
No.
What the fuck? Like, make an impact, dude. Make an impact.
I know.
Like you have this guy, and he's just ready to do whatever, and he can kill anything and everything he does. And you don't even use him.
You can make so much money.
Yeah, you can
so
make a
much
lot of
money if you just use this guy correctly.
Yeah.
Start using Bray correctly, please.
Yeah, there's no Bray.
If anybody from WWE watches our show, please, I'm asking you, start booking Bray correctly.
No way, Bray.
Yeah, they do. So after the WWE title match, WWE World Championship match, we have to specify now because there's 2 WWE titles. We had the SmackDown Women's Division 6-woman match. had the face team of Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella. Come on, chip her up. Against Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and the returning
Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella.
You can look, but you can't touch. Pretty sure that's a stripper thing too.
I tried to shake my hips, but it's not.
You just look like you're
good. Yeah. I know. They teased Eva Marie coming out, even though we all know she's suspended.
Glamorous.
And it was great.
Stunning.
The
Eva Marie will not be here tonight.
Yeah, the announcer did his normal
thing. She is
thing.
suffering from stress by being booed by the WWE universe.
Great.
She will be vacationing in the British Isles.
For the foreseeable future, something like that. It was fantastic.
She's suspended, and they still have this fucking dude do her fucking entrance.
So good.
And he says she's suffering from stress after being booed by WWE
funny.
fans. I was cracking up. I thought it was great. Nikki Bella joined the heel team, and she picked up the win.
New finisher.
Good. I know. It was a good finisher, too.
Yeah.
I like that. Because she sort of gets him up in like the attitude adjustment type thing.
Yeah, I thought that's what she's going to do.
And then she gives him a crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rad. A cutter? What did I say?
Crusher. Well, Ace Crusher.
Ace Crusher.
Ace Crusher, Diamond Cutter, whatever. It's kind of like similar to the move Kevin Owens was doing for a little bit, but he had him facing up instead of down.
Yeah, it was
swings him around.
Looks like a good move. Hopefully it protects her neck.
Yeah,
because she's not doing the what's she called?
Rack attack.
Yeah, the rack attack. Not doing it anymore.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. It was a relatively entertaining match. It was what it was. Give Becky Lynch a title, for fuck's sake. Give her a title.
Yeah, I'm happy that Nikki is on SmackDown now, though. Gives the show a little bit more star power.
It does. I like that. What I don't like is that they might want to give her a title. That really bums me out.
If it leads to something larger for another competitor, that's okay.
All I want is...
Because Nikki's an established heel talent.
I want Becky to have a title...
Let me finish.
...for one day.
No, let me finish.
For a month.
Have Nikki win this new Women's SmackDown title first, and then you get to enjoy Becky chase after the belt.
As long as she gets it.
She will.
Can I get a guarantee in writing that she's going to get it first?
She's
going to like it. I want a guarantee in writing. Becky will hold the belt at the end of that feud. And they'll be fine.
I can write that out for you, but it's not binding because I don't work for WWE.
Can you just write it on there? I'll tell you what you need to write, and you just write it on there.
I know what to write, but I'm saying I'll sign it, but it's not binding in any way. I
like that you say you're going to sign it as well.
Yeah.
All I want is you to just write it down. Give me a guarantee.
Okay, well, I mean, if it's a contract, I have to sign it. What you're asking for is a contract.
Do we get it notarized too?
Sure.
What's next?
Next, second best match of the night, even though it was kind of marred by the unveiling of the Universal title. It was Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. But first, there was a presentation with Stephanie and Mick Foley. They brought the table in with the belt
the crowd
draped with fabric.
The crowd gasped in horror. They literally, I can't wait to watch this back on the network because the crowd gasped in horror at this thing.
It looks the exact same as the SmackDown belt, except it has a red strap. And it says Universal Champion instead of World Champion.
The SmackDown belt looks so good. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, that's a good looking belt.
Yeah,
I hope they just do something completely different with the Universal title. Wings. It's just some shit. Just some cool shit. Instead, they just got an ugly, licorice looking strap. Red leather strap. And just put a bunch of crap on it. And made it look exactly like the SmackDown belt, but crappier. And then the crowd literally went...
And then a chorus of boos.
And then they fucking just...
And then during the match, chants including, "That belt sucks." "Hey, we want a new belt."
Yeah, they did in the style of,
"Hey, we want some Bayley."
Hey, we want a new belt, which was clever, but you know.
The cleverest chant was probably "delete."
That was the... Okay, so here's the setup. So the crowd starts ripping into the belt, and we start getting annoyed because it's like, okay, the belt sucks, but you have Finn Balor, who, by the way, his entrance, the people gobbled it up.
Yeah.
They gobbled it up, and it was magnificent to watch live.
Both of them got solid pops.
They really got solid pops. So to watch that many people mimic Finn and the way they do the lighting is just something to behold. So he comes out in his full demon gear, and then the match starts, and then the chants start. You know, that belt's ugly, that belt's stupid. You know, we want a new belt.
Delete.
And so, okay, hold on. They didn't do that yet. So at a certain point, once they've initially sort of voiced their displeasure,
there's a competing Rollins let's go Rollins, let's go Balor chant.
Yeah, so they're going at it. They're doing a really good job in the ring. They're busting their asses, and the crowd tries to hijack the show.
Yeah.
That's our problem with it, is that you're sitting there watching these two, like, really, really top fucking level talents bust their asses in the ring, and they're understanding the situation. So they're dealing with it, and they're trying to adjust what they do to match the crowd. And so when a chant goes, they do a big spot, and it sort of takes the chant away.
Well, then also I noticed that as the crowd continued to voice their displeasure, Rollins was trying to interact with them more.
Right, exactly. So
they're just more heel moves.
Total pros. So we're kind of annoyed with the crowd because they're hijacking the fucking show.
And every time they show the belt on the screen,
they start booing.
They start booing. Every time.
Exactly, which kind of made me laugh. What made me laugh was when some fucking idiot stood up and started a delete chant.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. It's fucking Matt Hardy. So that made me laugh, but I was still like, you kids, you're trying to hijack the show. You shouldn't be doing that. I mean, look, it's a shitty belt, okay? It's fine. It's a shitty belt. It sucks. You know, Finn Balor won. It was a really good match. It was a really solid match.
And it's a bummer that his moment was somewhat compromised because he had to hide the belt.
He had to hide the belt. He picked up the belt, and I guarantee you, dude, they said, notch the music up a little bit more.
Probably.
To mask the boos, because he said, as soon as he picked up the belt, you could hear what they're
oh, yeah, as soon as he grabbed the belt, hand of the belt, there was boos.
There were boos. But the music was so loud, I think it drowned it out.
No, and also I think once the crowd realized they got their initial, boo, where they're showing the belt, boo. Yeah. Oh, wait, Finn won, we should cheer now.
And he was a total pro and didn't feature the belt. Like, you want the dude to be able, and granted, you know what, I mean, it's pro wrestling. These are actors. They're doing a job. It's not like he actually literally won a belt, but it's an achievement.
Yeah, it is.
It's a symbol of your professionalism and your hard work.
Yeah, and your talent. Yeah,
exactly. So the fact that he didn't get to do this and hoist it up.
He did at the top of the ramp. He did once.
Yeah, I know, but you want to do that in the middle of the ring.
I know.
You want to look at it and cherish it, not hold it down
practically
here.
Hold it down here while you
put your doing the weird Sabu thumbs up. He's like, what?
No, he's had the number one finger up.
He can't even do this anymore.
Nope. So he just did this.
Just does this. I'm number one champion. So my thing is this. Back in the day, Larson, we had the Smoking Skull belt.
Correct.
We had John Cena's spinner belt, which
Correct.
I'm sorry is fucking uglier than it's a fucking spinner belt. That's uglier. Well, maybe it's not. When they stopped having it spin, I think it was a prettier belt than this one. Edge had his own belt. That was ugly. I want them just to start doing custom. Like, why not the
Universal/Demon belt is what you want.
Right. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be as ugly as Jeff Hardy's TNA championship belt.
I don't think anything.
It could be something very, very nice.
I don't think any belt could be that ugly.
That's so horribly ugly. So I don't know. Hopefully they can get their way out of it. I know that I'm really hoping that they're going to consider it kind of a dilemma, because where's the show is here tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that crowd's going to take over that fucking belt. They're going to take over, and that's going to be. Yeah, I don't know. You know, man, not everything is going to be perfect the way everybody wants it. You got to get over it and let these performers perform.
Yep.
You know,
ultimately,
Finn Balor didn't fucking design the belt. Stephanie McMahon didn't design the belt. Somebody approved it, and it doesn't look great. It's weird. It's just weird that they didn't. The NXT Championship belt's a really nice looking belt.
Yeah.
Their women's division belt is a pretty good looking belt.
Yeah.
The women's division belt on main roster looks amazing.
And I think maybe that was their thought process, is like the WWE World title looks good. The women's title is pretty much that belt with the white strap. Let's just.
So why not all red everything?
Does the Universal Championship get that guy to voice over all his
really?
appearances?
Why not at this point, right?
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, next. It wasn't even a match, but was Rusev.
It was a scuffle.
Yeah, fought Reigns. This was interesting. Rusev comes out, even though he's a champion.
Okay, now back up. Before this even starts, we're thinking to ourselves, wait a second. The U.S. Championship? Machka. This is the number one title in all of WWE.
Yeah.
Like, better than the Universal title, better than the WWE
It is
World
rare that
title.
they have a mid-card title match used as kind of... Usually, when they have a match that they think the crowd would be really involved in, they have a match afterwards to kind of give the crowd a breather. And that's not as intense.
And I know that was like this whole skirmish thing. Okay, so what happened was Rusev comes down. He's the champion. Why he's coming down first, I don't know. Roman Reigns comes down. They get into a big brawl. You go on a pee break. They just keep on brawling.
Well,
you
I mean,
come back,
I go on
they're
the
still brawling.
I go on the pee break because there's like 8 refs out there. I figured, okay, they'll break this up and they'll start the match.
All right.
Sorry,
It's okay.
I'm losing my voice.
Yeah, we're all done.
So I go take a quick pee break, and I come back, and they're still out there brawling, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the F is going on?
Yeah.
And then Rusev's selling a rib injury, and then they ring the bell and say, all right,
Rusev is in no condition to compete
yeah,
tonight.
physically unable to compete.
Yeah, so they lead Roman Reigns back. He comes back, gives him a nasty spear. Crowd eats that up after they were booing the match. But I get it. This was a skirmish designed as filler between the big matches.
Yeah, and I'm curious if it was always designed that way, or if they were running late and they cut the match, but still want to have something.
Well,
Because the skirmish went on for a good 7-8 minutes. You could have had a match.
that's why I think this was always the plan. Roman got his pin, and you couldn't have. I mean, look, dude, is he being punished still? No, because they're booking him incredibly strong against Rusev, who should be a psycho killer, and they made Rusev look very weak tonight.
Yep.
And I think that they want to keep that belt on Rusev, and they want to keep Roman strong, and there's a million other ways to do that we can think of.
Yes.
But this is how they chose to do it.
If this feud continues, though, and they continue on this path, at some juncture, Rusev is going to drop the belt to Reigns. Pretty much.
I don't really want to. I'll worry about that tomorrow. That's a bummer. That's a total bummer, man.
Well, it is, unless Roman keeps telling Rusev to put that beef away.
I just want. Here's what I want, dude. I want Roman, Rusev, and Lana to get their own Total Divas spin-off where they all live in a house together.
Here's an idea. Remember we used to do making it Reigns?
Yeah, of course.
And one of my ideas for him was Romaine Reigns, where he's a healthy eater.
There you go.
Take that character,
Yeah.
and his catchphrase will be "Put that beef away."
Put that beef
because
away.
he's a vegetarian or a vegan.
I like laid back, casual Roman Reigns. What was it again? What was it? Your thing?
Oh shoot.
Romaine Reigns.
Yeah, Romaine Reigns. That was the vegetarian
That's right,
one,
yeah.
the healthy eater.
Hey man, put that
Or
beef
it could
away.
also be Roman Wholegrains.
Yeah. So at that point, I heard Brock Lesnar's music hit, and I went to go get some merchandise because that's what I do now.
Yeah.
True to my word, Larson. True to my word.
You missed at least half the match, maybe more.
Yeah, I was okay with that because when I came back, this is what I came back to, and you can fill me in on the rest.
Okay.
I came back to a site that I'd pretty much anticipated being the case. Although, look, here's the thing. My prediction was Orton goes over.
Yeah.
That was the optimist in me, not the realist in me.
No, not at all.
Okay, so I was like, well, maybe. Here in my world, if I have two superstars, and granted, I know Lesnar holds the streak. I get that. He robbed The Undertaker. He took the streak, so he's got the power of the streak, right? Okay.
He almost has the power of the darkness.
He's got basically the power of the darkness.
Almost.
So he has that, and you have a challenger who could now. This guy with the power of the darkness, he's gonna be around until probably WrestleMania. He's gonna go along. He's gonna go.
He
for a
might
long
show up
time.
at Royal Rumble, maybe.
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 So he's not around very often. You've got SmackDown, which is a weak show right now.
Yes.
Why not have Randy Orton? I mean, I don't know. Beat him, and it doesn't even have to be clean. He can do some shenanigans. He can do some heel tactics to beat him, just like the Undertaker low blowed him.
Yeah.
He can do stuff like that. He can, I don't know, RKO a ref or something. I mean, I don't know. There's a million things they can do to have him go over and steal a little bit of that. But instead, what did I come back to? I came back to Randy Orton, who is a legitimate contender for the WWE World title, in a pool of his own blood, face bloodied, Brock Lesnar standing there purple and laughing. That's what I came back to.
So you pretty much missed the whole match then, because that was the very end.
Yes.
It started with they were kind of feeling each other out.
Just give me the highlights.
That's
Give me
okay.
the
Well,
highlights.
I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Brock started doing the suplexes, did a bunch of them.
Yeah.
They went outside.
Yeah.
Brock threw Randy into the table. The announce table didn't break. The SmackDown announce table
Yeah.
didn't break. Did something again, finally broke. Brock got the Raw announce table ready, put him Orton up there, got in position like he was going to powerbomb him. Randy, out of nowhere, RKO on the table.
Okay.
Again.
Yep.
Didn't break.
Okay.
So then Randy gets back in the ring. Lesnar stays down maybe 10, 15 seconds from an RKO.
Yeah.
Kind of rolls back in the ring. Somewhere shortly after that, Orton does the draping DDT on him. And another RKO, goes for a pin. No.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, you must have come in because that's when Brock took off his gloves and looked like he was straight up beating Randy's head.
Just absolutely destroying him. And I mean, I get the spectacle. I understand the spectacle of your monster completely annihilating your guy. I get that. It's just, I don't know. I'm so bored with it. I'm so absolutely bored with it. Like, give me a match like John Cena versus AJ Styles, which, you know, we rag, everybody rags on Cena for the fact that he buries people. I mean, that was part of the storyline.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I mean, you know, that match had drama in it, it had intrigue, it had, you know, peaks and valleys and stuff. And this is just, they're just spinning their wheels with Brock. I mean, who's the guy that's going to take his streak away? Because I see there's a lot of validity in your point of view in that you think that they're waiting for that one person to take the powers of the darkness.
It was going to be Reigns at WrestleMania 31. That's what it was supposed to be. And then when he wasn't getting over, they shifted gears and had Rollins cash in.
Yeah.
I guarantee you originally they had Reigns all lined up to take the streak/powers of the darkness from Lesnar and have them as his own.
What do you think the plan is now? Who's he going to be?
I don't know. I don't think they have anybody in mind.
Is the demon believable to do that?
No.
No.
He weighs about half. He's like half a Lesnar. Although, you know, while Lesnar beat the dead man, he hasn't beat a demon.
He has never beat a demon.
Looks like we have to wrap it up because we're running out of battery.
Oh no, God, run out of battery. You're right. Look at that. All right. Well, anyways, I know we're out of our element right now.
This isn't wrapping it up. We're
out of our element. This isn't the best ever.
We literally get to say bye now. Otherwise, we're not gonna have a sign off.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
We're on Patreon at patreon.com/Stephen Larson.
You can keep going until it runs out now.
You can follow. I live tweet Raw at Real Going In Raw. I may or may not do it tomorrow. I haven't seen my family in like 4 days, 5 days. I don't know.